Hello dearies, welcome to the Craft Kitchen. Thanks for joining me today, and of course a very warm welcome to all new subscribers, and of course for all who just recently found me. My name is Tina, I'm from Germany, and I'm a paper addict. Yeah, let's be honest, I'm a junk journal junkie. Memo to myself, I still need a t-shirt or hoodie with this lettering. Now today I started making the first signature for the winter journal. I started already in, I guess it was November. And this is, oh, you're wrong here, my first signature. I guess I will make 3 signatures in here. This is a signature with 10 pages. There you go. Lined papers and printables, and yeah, the free printables on my Ko-fi are still available. So using this double-sided page is very straightforward. I'm just folding this in half and make sure that top and bottom are lining up using the fold I already made. So doesn't matter if it sticks out a bit, it actually doesn't matter anyway, because when you put your signatures together you will always have, yeah, kind of like this fan here, and I like to cut this off so it is straight. When I'm making a really grungy book, my pages don't line up anyway. So yeah, I'm lining this here squared at my mat. When I can find it, I take my ruler, and because I'm using the inch side of my mat, which is very useful for later, I have to measure where I do have to cut my sheets, top and bottom. There. So lining my ruler up here, and there are some really odd noises in the staircase. Just cutting this. So, and I do have the first page for my second signature. So, and for the writing pages, there it is. So I don't want this white strip here, so let's measure how wide this will be. This will be about 16 centimeters or 6.5 inches, but I actually need only 12 centimeters, which is about 4 3/4 of an inch. And yeah, no, I don't want this strip. So what I could do, I could ignore the given fold and just measure 12 centimeters, no, 24 centimeters here. So I would end up from this line, so ignoring the white strip, from this line to this, but then again I would have this strip here. I actually like the idea of having the strip just on one side of a signature page, so I can make, yeah, stamping and coloring and decorations and whatnot here, and just leave this as a writing space. So I'm going to be marking this here at 24 centimeters, which is double the width of a single page, of course. Because I don't see this very well here, I'm going to be using again my pencil for marking. And I already know I don't need the bottom part of the paper, so I'm marking here at 24 centimeters, just making a hole. And I know the height of my pages has to be 20.9 centimeters, which is hilarious because A4 paper actually should be 21 centimeters in height, but you know, sometimes when you buy cheap paper you don't get the exact measurements they write on the packaging. So I do have 20.9. Just marking this with my knife, so I don't have to remove the pencil marks after cutting this. Again, 20.9. When using this method, you have to be sure to mark the right spot, because you can't remove the cut. So let's see. Need a bit more space. There you go. Where is my mark? Here. So I just put this in here. Line my ruler up. Line my ruler up there. And then I just cut. Yeah, up till somewhere here. Again, using my mark as a spacer, I'm off the mat and probably out of focus in the camera, but this sheet is really big. So again, cutting. There you go. And I should have made this first. Then I cut along this line here at the inside, so I won't have the mark of the line at the edge of my paper. There you go. So now I do have a thing like this with the original fold, and I just fold it over and don't care about the fold I do have left, because I either can utilize it or just ignore it. So page 2, and then let's see, we have 12.4 centimeters left. Now 12.3 centimeters left. Wonderful. So I'm cutting this down to 12 centimeters, which is my maximum width for one page of in the journal. So here I do have my double-sided, ready to go signature pages, you could say, and this will be a single page. So I place this on top to wait for its partner. And let's see. So yeah, this is too wide to be just a journal page like it is. It's also too high. So if I would use this edge, so this fold like it is, this would look like this in the end, so with a wider border than over here. Let me cover this so you can see this better. So this is what my page would look like. I'm not quite sure if I like this. This looks wrong to me because it's a book page right out of the book and it looks strange. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be trying to kind of like center the writing. So I will have an edge to hinge the two pages with tape. but I'm going to be trying to have like the same amount of this blank border on the left and the right. So, and in this case, now let me show you like this. I do have exactly 10 centimeters where there is writing. So this means I have 1 centimeter at the left and 1 centimeter at the right. And then my page will be 12 centimeters in width and my signature will be 24 centimeters wide in total. And because the writing here and here has a straight line, I'm going to be using my square ruler for this. So this is an old one, doesn't matter if I cut in this. No, I don't have one with a metal edge. Yeah, well, maybe I won't, because yeah, buying one of these every 2 years because it's very crooked and not usable anymore is actually cheaper than buying one square ruler with a metal edge. So I'm cutting this fold off so that I have 1 centimeter from the writing to the edge, carefully lifting this so I don't move it. Then let's turn it over, and then I'm going to cut this, so this will also have 1 centimeter from the writing to the edge. These papers, they are beautifully aged, are perfect to make stamped labels with them. Yeah, not this one, this is way too small, but I'm using these for labels. So, and then I told you I do have a height of 20.9 centimeters. So you know what, doesn't matter, I already could use 21. And as you can see, the bottom part, actually on all the sides, oh, there comes my package. Now, where was I? Yep, my copy paper just arrived, and hopefully this will turn out more suitable for coffee dyeing than my last batch. So, yeah, as you can see, this page is a bit longer than what I need, just 3 millimeters. So I'm going to cut this here from the bottom, because the blank bottom part is longer than the top part anyway. So we do have these 2 pages like this, and like I told you, you could just take the other one and maybe mix up, and this, yeah, I guess this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to be cutting these as well. Oh dear, look what I did. Yeah. I managed to cut off too much from this page. I have no idea why I did this. So, yeah. I'm going to cut the height of this, and I will, yeah, kind of like cheat a bit. Now, the reason I've prepared this inch side of my cutting mat was, where is it? That my homemade aged tape, I'm using the medical tape for this, is exactly, yeah, nearly 1 inch wide. So I can line this up perfectly. So I will 1/2 have on one side and the other half on the other side. But since I managed to cut this too short, I actually will have to cheat the tiniest bit. So we're going to be mixing and matching. Ay, 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 ay. Yeah, I'm going to be using this side. So actually, no, what I would usually do would be line these up perfectly, place them lined up on my mat, then take my tape here and just place it here and here. But this won't work with this, and if I move this to the outside, so I line up the outer edges, I would actually glue this part on as well. Now, this will be a bit more complicated. Let me see, yeah, this is the inside, so I'm lining this up. There. And do I want this side? No, I want it like this. And I'm lining this up as well. And I try to have a gap of exactly half a centimeter. This is what I cut too far. Yes, 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 did it. There and there. So, and then I'm taking my aged tape. Yes, sometimes I'm a silly. Dearies, I guess you've been screaming out loud all the time, but I didn't hear you. Of course, I have to place my papers like this. So one sheet goes to the ½ inch mark and the other one a bit more to the right. Let me measure this again. Perfect. So now I can place my tape lined up with the inch mark here. So at 9 and 10 inches. Again, try not to move the paper. There you go. This is very complicated. I guess I will need a weight for this. I have not enough space here for this. On this side and one book on this side, like so. Yeah, as you can see, most of the time you can fix your boo-boos, but it would be easier to do it right in the first place. So lining this up here on top, there, and pressing this down. So now I have this gap here, and I'm going to close the gap with a tape from the other side. Voila, a perfectly fine signature page. So for the next page, I hope I will cut everything right. Yeah, this was OD to winter. So let's see, how do I want this? Like this, or maybe like this. So I fold this over. No. I guess I'm going to keep these 2 pages in order, because here OD to autumn starts. I have no idea why it says OD to winter here, but as you can see, the author is noted here. So then again, here the next poem starts, and this is the conclusion, as well as this. This printing is very confusing to me. So again, we need 12 centimeters. Not more, not less. So the printing on here is lined at the left. This is not a block printing, so we do have this, yeah, kind of like frayed edge. So I'm not going to cut the right side, but only the left side. I'm lining this up, and since I do have my books here anyway, I'm using them to hold my papers in place. Once more. And then I need my tape and my pencil. Okay, another pencil it is. Oh no, I moved it. So lining this up once more. Yes. So again, I told you this is nearly 1 inch in width. So I'm just placing this in between the 1 inch lines, like so. And then carefully, really carefully, I will take this off. And fold the tape over from the middle. So there won't be as big a chance to, yeah, work some wrinkles in. So cutting this off. There. And there. And in the inside I'm doing the same, because no matter how good you line this up, you will always have a little tiny gap here, and the gap will be sticky. So I'm going to glue some tape in here as well. And I could use here the line, I could just line this up here and glue this over, but for me it's easier to make it this way. So I'm folding this kind of like backwards, line this up, and do it like I did the first tape. Signature sewn and cut to size. This one sewn in. I've used a 5-hole pamphlet stitch for this, and I think I'm really going to cover it. I've used, maybe you can see this here, 2 strands of twine, waxed it. So this is thinner than my cheap wax thread I usually use. I really did want to have a thinner sewing in here. I left a tail. Maybe I'm going to attach a charm. This one also sewn with a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, also with the 2 strands of waxed twine. And I'm going to kind of like hang this in here to this spine. And I actually had to look it up on Google. The binding is called rubber band or elastic binding, and the term I was looking for was Midori style traveler's notebook. We all know them, we all love them, and this is what I'm going to do with this, but not with elastics. I'm gonna be using these silk bands. There, I grunched them up a bit. Maybe I'm going to grunge them up a bit more, I don't know yet, but this is what I'm going to use. So first we have to determine where we want our holes to be. So like I told you, the journal is closing like this, then this signature will be here, and then closing like this. So this means we have one signature at the right side of our spine and one at the left. And the left one is the one we want to hang in now. So I was thinking I could just make holes and pull my silk through this, because this reinforcement as well as the packaging I've used for the cover is sturdy enough. So first, let's just see. Close this here on top. I'm just lining these two up because I already had to measure here, and I'm not going to measure this side. You know, I hate measuring and something always goes wrong, like with the signature page. So more or less eyeballing. Then I'm using my awl and poking a hole right over the top corner of this signature and right under. Try not to move this, because lining this up again would be very fiddly. And then I need a hole in the middle, so I'm using the mark I already have here with my middle stitching hole. And for the Midori style binding we need another hole, so I just go kind of like 1 centimeter down where my 5-hole pamphlet stitch at the signature starts, and then again here at the bottom where it kind of like ends. So I do have poked 5 holes, and I guess I'm gonna be, will I? Yeah, I'm gonna be using my big bite. I actually don't like this tool too much because you really have to be careful where you poke your holes, but as you can see I can reach the middle. That's kind of like the only reason I bought this tool, not the smaller one. But with the others you can just look from the top where you're poking your holes. This is much more convenient than this here. Maybe I should have made a vertical line to have these all lined up, but this looks quite right to me. So, and now usually you would take the middle of your elastic band and put it through the middle hole. I don't want a loop to close this on the outside, but 2 single strands to pull over the cover front and back, and then just make a bow. So I'm going to poke this through the middle hole, these loose ends here. I guess I have to do this one by one. And the other one. So now I made a mark on my inside cover. Yay! Of course I did. Another one I have to get. And pulling this through. So now I want to have the binding for my signature right here. Let me see, I guess I'm going to pull this through a bit more. Let me just see how long this has to be. This will be long enough if we let it hang like this. So, and now I'm going I'm taking the upper ribbon and push it through the lower hole on top. There you go. And then back in through the top hole. Where's my pencil? I guess. No, I didn't. So like so. And the same I do for the second strand. Without pushing too hard, so I don't pull this in again. Pulling too hard, I meant. This is so confusing. In German, these are two completely different words. So there's no problem at all. Let's see. Do I make the knot? No, I do make the knot in the middle. Like so. And you don't want to pull too hard here on your two ends, because you could actually just warp your cover and or your signature. And I want this to be really sturdy. So I'm making a second knot. There you go. And I don't know yet what to do with these loose ends, so we let them hang for the moment. So now you have your signature in here. And this is a bit more complicated to get out than with a rubber band. But I think this looks much nicer and more grungy. Oh, because this is silk, I have to think. I just pulled this in, I guess. So I have to tighten these two again. Yeah, and because I don't want this to move to the inside, I'm making a knot here, very close to the hole, hopefully. You know, this is silk. It is not that easy to determine where the knot will stop. Whoa. Yeah, well, making the knot didn't turn out that well. I guess I'm going to secure this with hot glue, and then I do have these, yeah, kind of like washer beads, spaces, and these should cover, or one of these should cover the hot glue. There, perfectly fine. So this fixed, this is quite all right. So shall we use this for some dangles too? You know what, I cut this here, so I will have a choice later, and of course I can keep this left over. And let's see how this works. First, let's close this. Yeah, this is quite nice. I really like it. Maybe I'm going to ink the edges of the signatures so they will look like, you know, the old ledgers. But this is just beautiful. Let's open this. So when we open this up, we have our first signature here. Yeah, after we have whatever is going to go in here first, I already know, I'm going to show you. Yeah, we have the first signature here with the fold out page. I don't know if I'm going to do anything about this because I really like the picture. Yeah, don't know yet. And when we open this up, we have the second signature. So you could write from this side to this side, so from the back to the front. You also can turn this over and write actually from the front to the back. I love it. I really love it. And I don't know if I'm leaving the folds as they are for a more grungy aspect or if I'm going to make some use of them. Don't know yet. For the time being, I adore my signatures. And the binding. This is really nice. Love it. Yes, dearies, yes! I'm absolutely in love. So I hope you liked the idea with the Midori style binding. The actual rubber band or elastic band binding using a silk band for this. Hope to see you next time when I'm going to finish the journal. Until then, stay crafty and be excellent to each other. Bye!